Hello CLAT Aspirants, welcome back to Law Prep Tutorials official channel. I'm Nupur, your legal guide, mentor and coach. So today we're going to talk about another very important aspect of your paper, reading skills. Your reading skills should be quite sharp and you should read very speedily. Why should you do that and why is it going to help you and how are you going to do that? Today we'll deal with each and everything that is related to it. So reading skills, why is reading skills important? First thing, because there are 120 questions and 120 minutes, right? So आपको balance करके चलना होगा that you're supposed to read 120 questions and they are not just 120 questions, there's a passage attached to it as well. Right? So if you have seen the CLAT 2024 paper, people who skip to read the GK passages have got lot of wrong questions. That is the reason that you need to read the passages as well. So you have to read, even if you consider like the paper was quite easy. I'm not expecting the next paper to be this easy. So even if you consider the passage to be a 7-line passage or 8-line passage, you have to read those 8-line passages and there would be like a lot of passages with that and then the questions. So you need very good reading skills. Reading skills is not just how you read it. Reading skill is also how you comprehend it. This I always, whenever I'm teaching in my classes, I always tell how do you read and I always cross check about the students कि आप कैसे पढ़ रहे हैं, आप क्या समझ रहे हैं. But whenever you're reading something out of the context, like if you're reading newspaper, if you're reading novels, if you're reading books related to your subjects, how do you comprehend is very important. What skills can be done for you to increase that? So that is why 120 questions, 120 minutes, passage based exam. That's why you need a very good reading skills. How are you going to improve it? So the first thing is comprehensive skills. What you have to do is you have to read a lot of things. Initially, what you can do is read simpler things so that it is easy for your mind to comprehend. It is not important that you read very typical language with lot of different words and difficult words for you. So just start with the basics, but read a lot of it. So you should at least be reading 70 pages in 2 hours and understanding it as well. Right? So you should have everything comprehended. What is the author saying? What does he mean by that? And also, you can try not reading aloud. When you read aloud, it takes a lot of time. When you read aloud in your brain, it also takes a lot of time. Plus, you also tend to get distracted. So try not to do that. Just read and also use a stylus. Stylus is this or maybe a guide. It can be finger. Like you could do comprehending skill. The CLAT exam generally include passages from many areas such as English, current affair, legal reasoning, QT, legal reasoning, regular reading comprehension abilities, making it easier for candidate to comprehend and even to respond to questions. Also, this is like the reading guide. Meta guide also we call it. So you can read it faster with the help of a pen or a pencil because you're not going to get confused which line you've skipped, which line you have to read, right? So that is very important. The next second thing is enhancement of vocabulary. Vocabulary you have to enhance a lot because we do not know what kind of questions they're going to give, what kind of passages they're going to give. This is very important. Now, this year's paper was quite easy. It was the, I would like to term, easiest paper that CLAT has ever given. It's not going to do the same things. Let's hope it doesn't. So you have to read vocabulary. Now, reading vocabulary is not just the part of vocab, right? It is not. If you, end of the day, you'll have like 2,000 to 3,000 new words that you have learned. But do you remember them? No, then what is the point of learning them? So what you'll do is you'll make a list of 10 words that you're going to use daily. For a week, you're going to use and later and sooner you're going to realize that you can learn like 20 words and then within 2-3 days you can remember them. So even if 500 new words you've learned, that means root words and suffix and prefix included, you're going to learn at least 1,000 to 1,050 new words. Right? So always remember that just jotting down the vocabulary is not enough. You guys have to make sure that you use in your daily life situations the words that you're jotting down. Right? Then the next important thing is reading speed and comprehensive. Like in CR, we do main idea, right? what is the main idea of the author, main objective, what is the comprehensive method. So ये सारी चीजें, as in when you're reading, you should have it in your mind prepared. So when you're reading your passages, it's just a small passage, and then you're like, okay, so the passage is about this, the heading is about this, the main idea is this, the sub idea is this, and the author's opinion is this, and this is what the law established. So as in when you're reading, you should have the table of contents ready in your mind, right? It would take a lot of practice to do it, but because it is the initial stage, you can easily do it, right? So this is something that you should be doing: reading plus understanding of the concepts and table of contents. That should be going along with whatever you're reading. Then is focus on the comprehension. Of course, main idea, arguments, what is the author saying, and all of that, that I've already covered, so you have to do that even, right? And then is reading for extended periods. Now you always have to remember that you have to read for extended periods. Do not give breaks. Giving breaks is essential only when the you're reading something that is just for your interest, and this is not for interest or passion. This is something that we're doing for a competitive exam. So you have to read it like that. You have to read for continuous 2 hours. Have a timer always. Ticking timer is always going to remind you that you only have 2 hours, and you have to read at least 70 pages and understand that as well, right? So this year's paper was about, we always used to give mocks of 60, 66 pages, 70 on both sides, of course. And some other institutions were not giving that much, and students, when we were going to take the review of students, like how was your paper, some students actually find it that 23 pages paper to be very lengthy. And I was just surprised that people were finding it lengthy, while law prep students who appeared for the CLAT, they were very happy that the paper was so easy, it was not lengthy at all. So it is good that you practice for the worst, and then if the best comes, you can easily do it. If the worst come, will be prepared for it. So this is it for your reading section, but I do have a nice quote. The English language is so elastic that you can find another word to say the same thing. This is said by Mahatma Gandhi. This is a very nice and favorite quote of mine. So I hope reading skills are developed by you, and if you have any problems, please comment down below. Thank you.